last few days of the Flintlock rifle season in Pennsylvania. I am back at the spot where I missed last year in this late season and where I missed in the early season. I'm sitting in a different tree, but if you watch that video, that deer was right there on this side hill. So it's about probably close to 4. So I'm just waiting now for the end of the day, and I traveled 1,200 miles to be here today. So just see if anything comes by. I filled my buck tag in the regular rifle season, so I do have a doe tag, and that's what I am going for today. So we'll see if what's that up there? There's a deer. Well, I just saw that was a group of 5, maybe even 6, and I thought it was like 1 at first, and I thought it was 2, and then I knew it was 3 for sure. And one started coming down the hill. I don't know if they were all going to do that, but then she seemed to get scared about something, and she kind of trotted back up, and then they just seemed on edge. And after a few minutes, then I just started to see tails, and that's when I knew there was about 6 of them. And they were pretty far. I couldn't get a shot. I mean, not with a muzzleloader, not without a scope. But I didn't expect to see that so soon. So I hope that's not it for the end of the day. But just as I was talking here, I looked behind me and I saw movement, and there were deer right there on that side hill. So they're out here. So that was kind of a good start. I got to see something, so I'm happy about that. Well, it's 5:06 and I didn't see anything. It's starting to get dark. I'm just waiting for my dad now to come out. And I can't say that it was a total bust. I did get to see some deer, so we're going to try tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain, so we'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. So this is the gun I'll be using this weekend. It's a Pedersoli. It's a 50 caliber. It was made in Italy, but I believe the wood is from America. I believe they use American wood, but it was made in Italy and it was a kit. So I put it together. This is the first gun I ever put together. It is a Flintlock, and I don't believe it has any kind of a name. I'm sure they call it something. I think it's just called their Kentucky rifle. I don't believe they make them anymore, but since 2001, that's a long time ago. I actually really like this gun, even though I am 0-6 with it. That means I've pulled the trigger 6 times and no deer. Sometimes it's flash in the pan, sometimes it's just a straight miss. Sometimes it doesn't ignite the powder. I believe that's all. Other than that, it's hard to be accurate because it's very heavy, especially in the barrel end. I mean, you can't hold it up very long before you start getting tired. So that's part of it. These long guns are very heavy, but I really wanted this. My dad got into muzzleloading in 1999, and he wanted me to do it. And he said, "You got to come and do this. You got to try this." And I said, "I don't want to do it. If I want to do this, I need one of those big long ones, you know, one of those real muzzleloading guns is what I would call them. You know, I thought I was gonna be like Daniel Day-Lewis, running through the woods shooting Indians with 2 guns at a time." Yeah. So I'm like, well, it better be big and it better be long, and you know, here it is. It comes up to here. I didn't realize at the time that just meant heavy and awkward, and I've banged this thing around on a lot of trees and brush and things like that. I did an okay job, but I didn't really know what I was doing. It was the first one I did. I'd love to go back and actually have the experience and the knowledge and just, you know, do it again. I think it would be much better. Each one I make seems to do better. But my dad really liked this gun a lot after I put it together, and his 2 brothers got together and bought another kit, and they gave it to me and they said, why don't you make it for him as a surprise present? So that's what we did. So he has a gun that's exactly like this. It's a little darker and it's not as shiny. He didn't like the shine and he wanted it a little bit darker, but other than that, he has the same gun. And he doesn't use it very often because, like me, he realized that they are very heavy and awkward, and it's just a cumbersome weapon. So what he uses is this, what he calls the plain Jane. And this is a Thompson Center. As you can see, it's much shorter, but it is a flintlock. And his lock has some nice designs on it. I actually really like that. Trigger guard is very simple. It's just round, and he put an old shotgun sling on it. It's not fancy in any way. They call it the Pennsylvania Hunter. It is 50 caliber. What I think is kind of neat is that, as you can see, it's an octagon barrel just to the stock, and then it becomes round. I thought that was kind of neat. But it's accurate. It's Thompson Center. They make pretty good weapons. The pin comes out very, that just slides right out. And it kind of has that rear sight that looks like that. I'm not sure. I think they call them dovetails, maybe. But it's a lot lighter. You can hold this up easier, and you don't get as tired. And he has shot deer with this. But it's been a good little rifle. He paid $175 for it. And I said, why didn't you buy out the store? There was another one with it, and my dad's brother bought that one, and that was only $200. And it's very similar to this, but it's fancier. You know, it has more designs on it. It has one of those patch boxes, and it's very nice as well. But this gets the job done. Like I said, he actually has shot deer with this. I haven't shot any with mine yet. I'm hoping that changes this weekend. I don't know. Stay tuned and maybe you'll find out, because haven't hit one yet. But those are just some of the guns that we use, and we carry them around. You see them in the videos all the time. I thought maybe like a closer look. Well, day 2, and it is so rainy and wet. We haven't really gone out, and I don't think we can. So, but we're underneath, keeping dry underneath the pavilion. So we're gonna do some shooting here and just do some practice. Unless it's too wet to do that, which we're gonna find out. I don't see a hole even on a target.
Getting up there, and I thought it looked like you went, I'd say you're shooting a little bit to the left.
We'll go check, but I don't think I hit that either. I see where it is. Alright, well, it's the second day I get here, second to last day, Friday. And we practiced a little bit because it's just pouring rain today, but now it actually stopped, and it's about 4:15. So we thought we'd just come out for the end here and just see if we can see anything, and hopefully it's not too wet, because it's soaking wet outside, but no rain at the moment. So we'll see. I'm heading back to the same place where I saw those deer yesterday afternoon. This is where I was last night, but the stream is a lot louder because there's a lot more water since it rained all last night and all today. So I won't be able to hear them, but they won't be able to hear me either. At least that's the hope. There's zero snow now, as you can see. So it's all gone because of the rain. And seeing them is going to be tough, because they're gonna blend right in. But I'll keep my eyes peeled. Well, it's 4:45 and it's just coming down. A lot harder than it should be if you're going to try to do this muzzle loading in rain or just damp weather. It feels misting maybe, but it doesn't take much to get that powder wet. And the skies are so gray that it's a lot darker now. And this time yesterday we were on a clear day, so we didn't expect much, but we didn't really get anything. So there's tomorrow, and the temperature's supposed to drop, and we're supposed to get ice and snow, which again is moisture. It's not the best conditions, but it is better than rain like what we had right now. So we'll see about going out tomorrow.
Had 3 bars down at the house, or else 2 at least, and out in the woods when you called me, didn't have any.
Huh.
So I called you back. Did you hear me now?
No, I never heard you.
Yeah.
It's about 7:30, Saturday morning, last day of the Flintlock season here in Pennsylvania, and the temperature has plummeted, and we got dumped with snow, as you can see. So the visibility is great. You can see so far. So, well, we're out here and we're gonna hopefully see something. It's about 15 degrees. So the ground is nice and crunchy. You can hear the snow, but other than that, it's pretty quiet. We have several inches, probably 5 or 6 inches. So I haven't seen snow like this in such a long time. That's great. It's a great day to be outside, and I'm only a couple minutes into this. I'm already having a great time. So. My dad's behind me, and Michael's on his way down that way, and I'm heading into my spot. Well, I'm at my spot. As you can see, we are really deep in snow now. The snow's still coming down, so I'm trying to keep it off the muzzle loader. And I can't see. Actually, as you can see, like branches like this are so heavy with snow, I actually can't see around me as well as I would like. But if I see a deer, it's going to be very clear, because they're going to be so dark against this white background. But there's a lot of creaks and things like that from the trees and the branches, because it is so cold out right now. It is really just coming down, which isn't ideal for muzzle loading, but better than rain. But who cares? Look at it. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go see. I don't know. How you were, how did it
Okay, anytime.
Boy, he's confident.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's 3:45, the last day. This really is the fourth quarter of the Flintlock season for Pennsylvania. Last day, last couple hours, so we are in position, and it is 15 degrees and it's very cold out here, but we're not leaving until quitting time, so I'm back in position where I have been the last couple days. So we'll see if any deer come by here. I can see the tracks in the snow, so they have gone by. And my cousin Michael is up the hill behind me, and my dad is out near the fields. So I'll be listening for them if there's any shots. Well, a group of 4 just came up on me from right up over the hill when I was watching that hillside where they were 2 days ago, and they came up right there, and I was standing up at the time, and I wanted to get lower, I wanted to get down, and that lead doe saw me and was just staring me down, and I was trying to get the gun up, and they kind of took off, and I pulled up and pulled the trigger, and flash in the pan. So that's 0-7 for this gun. You know, it's just, that's muzzle loading, but it's really frustrating when you pick a spot, you're in position, you're ready, and then the gun doesn't even fire. They ran up the hill in that direction towards my cousin, but I haven't, I heard there's been no shot or anything, so I don't know if they went by him or not. Well, I followed their tracks up here, and they go down over the bank, and way down there, way down at the bottom, I saw one, and it seemed to see me in it. It just bolted. So they're long gone now. I was hoping if I walked up this way, maybe I'd push my cousin who's up in there, or maybe just see them again, but looks like they went down over the hill here. Well, those deer didn't make it quite up to Michael. They went down over the hill before he ever saw them, and then my dad radioed and said that he saw 2, and he pulled the trigger, but there was no spark, so it wasn't even flash in a pan, and they ran off, and he didn't get a second shot. And that happened very close to when I just had that flash in a pan. So they weren't the same deer though. So it's almost 5 now, and the sun is going down, and I can't say I didn't have a shot. You know, I had an opportunity. So I'm not expecting much now. I don't know if anything else will come through, but you can just wait till quitting time. That's all you can do. Muzzle loading, it's a challenge because of stuff like that. That happens. If that was rifle season, I had a scope. You know, that's a chip shot. But when you have a flash in the pan, there's nothing you can really do about that. So I cleaned the touch hole too when I got here. I didn't even put powder in my pan until I saw those deer. So I really don't know why that happened. I don't know if the temperature has something to do with that. No clue, you know. Flintlocks, what are you going to do? Well, there are only a few minutes left in this season, the late Flintlock season for Pennsylvania. And then deer season will be officially over until next year in this state. And it's going to be a long 365 days for me, ending like this. There's not much you can do except just laugh. I mean, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. You know, that's how it goes. So it's like deja vu. It's just like last year. The deer came in the exact same spot. My gun didn't go off. You know, I wasn't expecting them to come where they came from. You know, it is. That's hunting. Actually, that's hunting. That's a perfect example right here. It happens. I got to see something. I got to take a shot. The gun didn't go off. Still pulled the trigger. And it's been a great day so far. I mean, look at this. I know it's getting dark, but, you know, I mean, tell me, look how nice this is. Just getting to be out here in this all day. The snow and the cold weather. I mean, it's a great hunt, a great day, a great season, and it was still a success if you really think about it, because I had a great time, and that's actually what this is about. I mean, harvesting a deer is great. That's one of the goals, but it's not the main goal. It really isn't. I had a great day today. A lot of fun. I love this kind of snow. This is great. We don't get this all the time. I mean, it was a treat, especially compared to yesterday when it was literally pouring down rain. It's just amazing how much can change overnight. You know, as you can see, the landscape, you know. So, it's just about quitting time. It's getting dark. And, looks like that's the end for me, but there's always next year. You know, there is always next year. So, I'm gonna pack up and head out of here. I got a little bit of a walk to get out of here, so I'll go meet up with my dad and my cousin, and that's that. Unless there's one between here and there, and you never know. But I don't think so.